Choosing an island to visit in Spain is as hard as choosing something to watch on Netflix. Majorca is the largest island in Spain, measuring 90% larger than the next biggest of Tenerife. We've been on a mission to visit every island in the country with Old Beluga, and in this video, we are going to look at why my ex-girlfriend was likely right about bigger always being better. These are the top 10 places you definitely can't miss in Majorca. Let's go! Everyone loves a discount, so we're kicking off this list with the 3-for-1 location. Located in the east of the island, Pontàs is one of 2 amazing arches that make this list. Hands down, the best sunrise viewpoint on the entire island because, I mean, come on, just look at this. The main feature of eastern Majorca is that it is literally littered with picturesque turquoise fjords and bays known as Calas, which make for some of the most beautiful swimming locations in the Balearic Islands. Santanyí is probably the most legendary village that was built around one of these coves, and you can't get any closer to being inside a postcard than this. If you hate it here, well, it's probably because you came during summer. This was all filmed during October when temperatures were still in the mid-20s, the water was still warm enough to enjoy swimming, and the crowds from summer have all gone home. The island is still fantastic during high season, but these picturesque coves lose their charm when they're jam-packed with humans. Just down the road is Cala, which, as you can see from above, is what happens when you let developers run wild with limited restrictions building mansions around these calas. Making our way up the east coast, we're stopping at Cala Varques. Getting to the cove requires hiking roughly 3 kilometers each way from the parking area that I've linked in the description below. This is what makes the destination extra amazing because a parking lot by the beach would add too many people and spoil the remote vibe here. The cliffs here are on another level because unlike Pontàs, you can easily walk across the natural bridge. You can even jump from the top, which is about 22 meters high. I tried talking these guys into it, but they were not having it.
This guy's doing 4. He's gonna do at least 6 backflips.
I pussied out because I'm not gonna risk my life for a channel that only has 10,000 subscribers, but at 100,000, I'm jumping in, no questions asked, so make sure you hit that button below if you haven't already. In between the big arch and the beach is a swimming cave that you gotta check out, so you gotta remember to bring your mask and snorkel because there are plenty of fish for you to see here.
Oh, this guy's got the pee-pee mask on.
And if you've made the life decisions that have afforded you the reality of owning your own marine vessel, you can't find a more beautiful bay to spend the night than this. It is extremely rare that we whip out the wallet to go visit caves, but these caves are way too unique to drive by and not visit. The Dragon Caves are not only ridiculously beautiful, they are also home to Lake Martel, which is the largest non-tidal underground lake in all of Europe. Because of this, it gets busy, so you need to book your tickets in advance. The entrance has an undesirable Disney feel, but once you're inside, these caves speak for themselves. Sure, it'd be nicer to see it with less people, but just look at these walls. If you've never been to a grand cave system like this before, it's definitely not something that you want to miss when visiting Majorca. Near the end of the visit, there is a small show of live classical music performed from small rowboats out on the lake, and it's quite enjoyable because filming here is not allowed, so it doesn't look like this. After the show, you have the option to take a short boat ride to the end of the cave that is included in the ticket price, and I just couldn't shake the feeling that it felt like a Disney ride in the wild.
It's a small world after all. It's a small world. Oh, that got everybody quiet real quick. Yeah.
Just make sure to call ahead in advance if you want private security.
Faustini's in the back surrounded by security like Kim Kardashian. Yo, is that Kim Kardashian over there? With all the security? That big booty?
We've already seen the best sunrise viewpoint in Majorca. Now it's on to the best sunset spot, and there is no better place to do that than up at Cap Formentor at the Mirador El Colomer. This peninsula has some of the most wicked terrain anywhere on the Mediterranean Sea in Spain, and the viewpoint up here with its 300-meter vertical drop into the sea is just ridiculous. But so too is the parking. There is just one road on this peninsula, and only 2 kilometers past the viewpoint at Formentor Beach, it is forbidden to drive any further in between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. from June 1st through October 31st. This means that the viewpoint is about as far as most people go, and parking here at sunset is an adventure of its own. I highly recommend taking the bus if you are a nervous driver or have bad luck finding parking spots.
Now here's the question, do I get the parking? I usually get the good juju on the parking, so let's see.
At the top of the mountain on the other side of the road is the Albercuts Tower, which requires a little extra effort to reach. There are towers like this scattered all around the island, and to me, they remind me of Super Mario tunnels, which would be fantastic so we wouldn't have to beat the shit out of Old Beluga getting to all these destinations. There is a bonus level here to visit down at the bottom of the viewpoint at Porta Pollença, which is definitely worth a stop. This bay is very similar to Alcudia, but with less large resorts and a Lake Como Mediterranean vibe, especially to the north of the cove. On to the final 5, and if you are someone who gets car sick, then this next one is going to be an absolute nightmare for you. This is Sa Calobra Road in the northwest of Majorca, and well, yeah. This is a snake-shaped road that leads you to number 4 in this list. It says very clearly, albeit in Spanish, at the beginning of the road that the buses will be coming back up this road in between 1 and 3 p.m. And well, this is what it looks like when people don't pay attention to the signs. This is one where if you are a timid driver, please take the bus for the sake of these cyclists and your terrified kids in the back seat, because this road can become a shortcut to the big guy real fast. At the end of this serpentine adventure, we arrive at the next one on our list, Torrent de Pareis. I probably completely butchered that, but I have not gotten that far in Duolingo yet. Down here, you will find a natural gateway that leads you from the ocean all the way up to the highest mountain on the island. If I'm being completely honest though, it is much better viewed from above, and the only way you can do that is with a drone or from one of the super sketchy trails that are surrounding the valley. What is cool about the area though are the tunnels that bring you through the cliffs into the valley, letting you explore this corner of the island. This is one where it's more about the journey than the destination itself, which kind of sounds like something you would read in a Hallmark card. Up at the top of this valley, you will find the tallest mountain on the island, and that is the Puig Mayor. While Ibiza is over there stuffing its bra with Saltaliasa at a piddly 475 meters, these mountains are nearly 3 times as high at 1,445. You 100% should definitely do at least one hike here in Mallorca when you're visiting, but it does not need to be up here. Mallorca is full of smaller peaks that are going to give you amazing views of the coastline with much better trails. But if you want to put on your big boy and big girl pants, at this mountain, you can get high above the clouds and even see a 360-degree rainbow or two if you're lucky. From up here, you can see the entire island on a clear day and even see Ibiza and Menorca in the distance.
This is the most beautiful view you can have in Mallorca, and there's nobody up here.
And that's because this hike is not easy. The trail is barely visible and conditions can be dangerous, so if you want to enjoy this mountain and can't be fucked to go hiking, then Sóller is probably the best place for you. From down here, you can enjoy views of the tallest mountain while drinking a beer at the beach. This is a crowd favorite because you can easily access this destination from Palma via public transportation that ends with a ride down to the beach in an old-school wooden streetcar. This boosts the Instagrammability of the beach by a factor of 17.5 and is responsible for almost as many photos added to the gram as the bathroom mirror in the High Ibiza nightclub. The boardwalk strip is arguably the best on the entire island, and there is not much more than I can say than just look at this place. If you do not enjoy it here, Mallorca simply isn't for you. Since it's on the west coast, this is a sunset destination, and what I love about it is that although it's deep inside the jagged mountains, there is a tunnel that connects it to the other side, so Old Beluga didn't have to get beat like it was running the Kentucky Derby.
Journalism and sovereignty, nose to nose, down to the last 16th of a mile.
On the other side of these mountains is where you will find the most popular beach destinations. Places like Magaluf are very close to the airport and connected by highway, and because of their position on the island, most beaches enjoy both sunrise and sunset. These beaches also have plenty of picturesque calas and swim spots just like the East Coast, and are a great spot to go beach hopping. My favorite was down at Camp El Mar, where you will find a restaurant that has its own private island. Loads of people have moved here and built fancy villas up on the cliffs, but none of them as grand as the Birdhouse Villa. If you are in a position to purchase this type of property, this is the perfect example of how you should spend your money. If this house belongs to you, hit me up in the comments below because I need a property release so I can license this footage on Shutterstock. I might not be able to afford to buy my woman a house like this, but if you hit that like button, maybe I could at least buy her brand name groceries.
Their food!
On to the final one on this list, and that's that you gotta go check out the capital of Spain's largest island. I expected it to be nice here, but Palma went well beyond anything I anticipated. This is the 8th largest city in Spain with a population of 438,000, and I know a getaway to a place like Majorca calls you away from the city, but even by Spanish standards, Palma is as beautiful as Valencia or Seville. The cathedral is the face of town overlooking the Mediterranean Sea and an army of palm trees, and is the perfect place to score a deal on a Gucci bag or an Mbappe jersey. The Old Town core is full of fantastic streets that are lined with beautiful buildings and cool shops, plenty of parks with tropical plants, the coolest olive tree you will ever see that all lead down to the biggest marina on the island. This is where you can park your mega yacht if you were burdened by owning one, or just take the ferry like a normal person back to the mainland Ibiza or Menorca. If you've made it this far, then Majorca is definitely a place you should consider for your next Spanish trip, and if you got any questions, leave them below, and I promise I'll get back to you faster than Grandpa's blue pill takes to kick in.
Why don't you come over to my place for a glass of wine and a cup